Hello guys, and welcome to this update video. Very quick update on the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio, something I have been tracking over the last 3 months, and I promised I would do a monthly update. I wasn't very keen on doing it, to be very honest, and you know why, because everything's right down in the toilet. We obviously have more important things to worry about right now, like the virus. So firstly, I hope that everyone is safe. I hope that you're staying at home if you can, if your job allows you to. And in between all of the important things, we still have time to look at crypto. And if you're following my videos, obviously this is a hobby of yours. So where are we? Even though the numbers are significantly down, it's still very interesting to track where we've come. So those of you who are new to this, I theorized that the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio, this chart here that we're looking at, was due for some significant upside at the bottom, at the end of last year. And I did call correctly. I even tweeted that 0.016 something would be the bottom. Somewhere there. This chart shows it as 0.17, and that was the upside that we saw. Things were really looking great over the last 2 months before coronavirus hit, and we went as high as 0.028. So if you invested in Ethereum here and you were fortunate enough to trade it off for Bitcoin at that point, there were significant gains to be had in terms of how much Bitcoin you were getting for the dollars you invested here. And once again, if you knew, that is exactly what I track. So I've just put some numbers here to track where we are today. As I said, it was going great. We looked really great at the end of Feb on this journey of ours. But let's take a look. So Ethereum today, 126 changes obviously by the minute, but I've just filled this in a few minutes ago. $127. It did go as low as on the US dollar. It did go as low as $98. Wow, what a buy that would have been, right? 98 bucks. Some of you would have got it if you were lucky. The only way to get that, because nobody knew. I mean, this was a global pandemic. The only way to have that is if you had buy orders on your exchange very low. Good luck, if you got it, great, well done to you, have to congratulate you. So that's where we are, and that's where Bitcoin is, and the current ratio that I grabbed is about 0.021. So now let's have a look. Remember, we're tracking on the 4th of Jan. I said buy Ethereum, and what we're tracking is if you bought 10 Ethereum at $133, you invested $1,330. You could have received 10 Ethereum or 0.1814 Bitcoin at that time. You can do even better now. Remember the video at the time I said how to get potentially Bitcoin for $1,300. If that's possible, how would we do it? So if I made that video now, it would be $1,270. So let's have a look, right? So if you sell your 10 Ethereum today, you are down, of course. So we are in the buy zone. We're not in the sell zone. So if you're tracking this like me, don't sell, don't panic. Look, we're gonna come back from this. This is not just crypto being down. The entire stock market's down. Even oil's down. That has something to do with a bit of an oil war between Saudi, Russia, and US shale producers. I'll talk about that in another video. I'm going to do a macroeconomics video very soon. I have been promising that for a while. I will get around to it now that I'm at home. And but even gold is down. Gold's been up and down. So it's not just crypto. So that's good for crypto. And over the last few days, to be honest, we've seen Bitcoin and the rest. Bitcoin pulls the market with it, right? Just pull it up gently just to show that it's not going to zero. And I did say, and this is the important point, I said in a previous video, we saw this in 2008. We didn't have Bitcoin in 2008. We did have gold. What happens when a crisis like this hits is that people look for liquidity. They want to get into cash. They want to get out of investments. It doesn't matter whether it's a safe investment or not. There's a run initially into liquidity, and over the following weeks and months, you will see that liquidity move into safe havens. And the prediction now, this is the first crisis, real crisis, where we do have Bitcoin and crypto. The prediction is you will start to see Bitcoin being seen as a safe haven. If it doesn't happen, if we're sitting, I would give it maybe 6 weeks. So I would say after 6 weeks, we would be able to judge whether this thing's still volatile, and if it goes down, be a bit worried. But if it keeps steadying and even going up a little bit, then you know it is being seen as a safe haven. Once again, right now on our minds is this virus, right? We have a real problem with this virus, and we don't know how long it's going to take, and unfortunately we don't know how many people will be impacted, even killed. But coming back to this video, so you might be seeing this video in the near future, and hopefully, if you are, there's good news. We have defeated the virus, so I'm just praying for that. If you sold the Bitcoin, so at this time, if you took the $1,300, put it into Bitcoin, you would have got 0.1814, which you can now sell for, well, this is the worst number on the chart, right? So you're way down. Ethereum is the better investment, because even though we're down, Ethereum has gained in its relationship with respect to Bitcoin. That was the good stuff that was happening up to here. This massive line here. That was the trend that was cruelly interrupted by this virus pandemic, and then all hell broke loose. Now, the update in this video I'm saying is that we expect this to continue. Year to date, it's not gonna give me much. Let's take a look at the 1 year. So you'll see there was a very negative sentiment, and I said this previously. It wasn't justified. Maybe people felt that Ethereum 2.0 was just vaporware, but we saw that it wasn't. And the moment we saw that it really wasn't, we had a bit of an uptick, still volatility, and then the real sign that this opportunity would be realized for those of us who saw the opportunity late last year. Then we've been interrupted by this horrible, terrible situation that we're in right now. And if we have a good case scenario, we overcome the virus, we stabilize, a vaccine is developed, a cure, we should see, and then of course Ethereum 2.0 continues as we expect it to, then we should see a continuation. This is what I'm saying, a continuation of this trend, and I think crypto will bounce back a lot quicker than stocks, because we don't know what's going to happen. Some companies can't do business. They're going to go out. Look at Boeing. Go have a look at Boeing stock. I'll bring that up in a separate window while I'm doing the video. But some companies will not recover, and some industries need people to be there physically for business to continue as usual, and that's just not going to happen. I mean, look at that. That is, that's painful, right? You want to have a look at the 5 year. I mean, basically, you've got 5 years of effort just wiped out. This company is in real trouble, right? When you're looking at Ethereum, by the way, just some humor. You might just type in ETH and go, woohoo, $11. Ethereum's at $11. What's going on? Well, actually, it's this guy. I said this before. So this poor guy, well, he's probably getting lots of good attention. You know, having the same ticker. What's he been doing? He's been up. He's been as volatile as crypto. He hasn't had really a great last few years. The interiors business, huh? Who would have known? Just, it's not a stock. If you see ETH stock, you're looking at the wrong thing. And Ethereum's not at $11. I'll just close that for now. But coming back to this video, so yes, you're down, but if you invested in Ethereum, you'd be better off with and this proves it. I'm doing this, and I'll keep doing this as we go. this proves that it was the better investment. Even though I like Bitcoin, Ethereum was the better investment because you can sell your Ethereum investment for more than what you would have your Bitcoin investment, number one. Number two, you basically, if you did the swap, you'd have Bitcoin for 6.3. It's not, you could just buy the Bitcoin cheaper today, but we know why. But that's cheaper than the 7,300 that Bitcoin was at that time. Number three, I just want to show you something. So if we look at Ethereum Bitcoin, we did peak at about 0.028. And this is telling, because if I adjust it, let's say we stayed, let's say the dollar values of Ethereum and Bitcoin dropped significantly to where they are now today, but the ratio, Ethereum wouldn't be where it is today. The ratio stayed at 0.28. So where does that leave us? So firstly, you're getting a lot more Bitcoin if you did the swap out. And secondly, your value of Bitcoin, the effective price of Bitcoin that you're paying to get that is basically 4,750, the best on the chart yet. So the fact that it has dropped, by the way, shows that there's probably more confidence in Bitcoin at this point in time out of all the cryptos. Why? It's the oldest. People trust it the most still. However, Ethereum is still the better investment because it will continue to gain over Bitcoin. The Ethereum Bitcoin ratio, that ratio there. So I hope that was interesting to you. I've been tracking it. A lot of people still aren't talking about this. I don't know why. It's since October, even August last year, I've been saying it's just the biggest opportunity that you will see. The only time this falls apart is if Ethereum 2.0 is a disaster, right? Then we just don't know where this is going to go. So just a quick update, and I hope you enjoyed that. I will continue tracking this, but really the most important thing now is to stay safe. We have a real problem on our hands, and as much as we love crypto and markets and stocks, I do have to say right now it's secondary. I just hope that you all are safe and we will overcome the storm, and I'll see you very, very soon.